Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. More Newcastle transfer news, big updates on Lucas Paqueta, as well as our reports coming out. There's a lot of them as expected. And not only that, Steve Bruce, for the first time since leaving Newcastle United, has spoke publicly about Eddie Howe and about the club's season as a whole under the new owners and his time at the club. So I've got plenty I want to say about him, so there's a bit of a spoiler alert for you. But anyway, guys, as always, you're new to the channel, make sure to head down there, hit that subscribe button. I'm 500 away now from 25,000, the big milestone. So if you guys haven't already done so, it will keep you guys updated throughout the summer. There's going to be a lot of videos on the channel, so there's a heads up for you. As well as that, if you can smash the like button, it really does help out. And finally, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Question of the day: do you think Steve Bruce did a good job at Newcastle? That's the question of the day for you. Do you think he did a good job at the club under Mike Ashley, or do you think he was always going to be on borrowed time? But anyway, though, enough about that. Without further ado, let's get into all the news now. First off, a huge congratulations to Sean Longstaff on extending his contract in Newcastle United for another 3 seasons. Now, I've seen quite a few mixed responses to this one, but ultimately he is a homegrown player, and the last couple of games for the club especially, he's put good performances in. So for me, even if it's just on the bench, yes, I think it's a smart move to keep a hold of him. But yeah, Sean Longstaff originally said no to his contract because he wanted more game time. Now, as a player, you got to respect that because he wants to be a better football player, and he feels like getting more game time will allow him to do that. And based on the last couple of games, you can't exactly disagree with that. So I think it's good to keep a hold of at the club. I think he's going to add great depth to the midfield. It's going to create a lot of competition for our midfielders as well as potential signings coming in. We'll get onto that in a bit. But yeah, huge congratulations to him. He's a Newcastle fan through and through. He's came for all the ranks, and yeah, I think he deserves it, to be honest. I haven't got any arguments to that one there. But as I said, though, it's quite a mixed response regarding him. So it's up to him next season now, under the new manager, under the new owners, to make his mark, because you can't say he was Bruce anymore because we've got new people in now. Speaking of Sean Longstaff, he's made some quite interesting comments towards the previous manager. As you can see here, he's came out and said that he's enjoying his football a lot more now, and previously that wasn't the case, so he's extremely grateful for Eddie Howe. And I wonder why that is. Why is it that every single player at this club is coming out and saying how much we're improved or how much better it is? There's so many players in the past that came out and said that they weren't fit to play. Callum Wilson came out and said this. Ryan Fraser, week in, week out, was slagging off the former manager. Why is it that players are coming out and saying they didn't enjoy the time previously, that they didn't enjoy the team wasn't gelling together? Why is that Matt Ritchie was calling this person a coward behind the scenes? I mean, we'll talk about him just a bit, but he's always the victim. He always blames everyone else but himself. It's always the player's fault, it's the fans' fault, it's the owner's fault. He never takes responsibility, and there's a reason why. He plays the victim card time out and time in. It's not good enough. I've had enough of his crap, and we're going to talk about it shortly because he really did tick me off when I seen it yesterday. The reason why people dislike you is because you didn't do your job. You did the bare minimum, and it showed on the pitch, because we would have got relegated. 100% we would have got relegated. It wasn't for that takeover and the change of manager. And there was also a reason why we changed the manager after one match of the new owners being here, because they knew they needed a change. They knew the players needed something different. And yeah, he's always the victim. It's never anyone else's fault. The fans never gave him the chance. They always wanted to see him fail. Oh, I mean, just utter garbage. But yeah, anyway, let's start to talk about the quotes now. Steve Bruce's first quote when talking about Eddie Howe. Here we go, we get off to a great start here. So he comes out and says that Eddie Howe had more money than him to spend. Let me stop him there, because his first transfer window at Newcastle, he had a lot of money to spend. I think he spent about £8 million. Joe Linton was £40 million. Was crap on the Steve Bruce, improved about 10 times the difference on the Eddie Howe. Again, I wonder why that is. Sir Maxman, he was about £20 million. Jamal Lewis, he was about £12 million. Kraft was about £5 million. He got Andy Carroll on a free. I mean, yes, you can argue this season because we've got Joe Willock as our only signing in the summer, which, let's be honest, is a disgrace. £20 million in a summer transfer window is just a farce. So yes, he can defend Steve Bruce in that, but the first thing he says in that press conference, he undermines Eddie Howe's accomplishment. He comes out and says, well, he had more money than me, so what? He didn't really do a good job. He just undermines the manager just like that. It just shows him complete lack of respect. Eddie Howe improved the players that Steve Bruce had. Joe Linton, he improved. John Joe Show, he improved. Joe Willock, Ryan Fraser, Emil Kraft, Jamal Lascelles, the list goes on. Steve Bruce had those players this season and he didn't do a good job with them. And he wants to come out and try and disrespect Eddie Howe like that. Look at this picture here. That was days before the Manchester United game. Ronaldo's debut. There's no preparation for that game whatsoever. It was a 2-week international break. We trained about 4 times in those 2 weeks. We had 6 days off because he went to Portugal for a holiday. During the season, when we just had about 3 months in the summer, he comes back and he goes on holiday during the season. Yeah, man, this guy's getting paid millions of pounds and he just does off. How is he supposed to motivate the team when he's just doing what he wants? He went on holiday during the Premier League season. I mean, how is that allowed? He's literally in breach of his contract. He's not doing his job. And yet he got an £8 million buyout and he wants to come out and try and play the victim card, going, oh, the fans never gave me a chance. I was depressed during my job. You stuck to that job. Bear in mind, you admitted you were depressed during it because you knew you would get a massive payday when you got sacked. Because you knew you were doing a crap job and you stayed on out of respect to these Newcastle fans. No, you didn't show us any respect. You stayed on for business and that was the only reason why, so you can get a nice lovely payday. When this club suffered because you were doing a crap job, you weren't motivated. You weren't motivating these players. You weren't a leader. You were a coward, as Matt Ritchie said himself. He did a bare minimum and it showed week in, week out. The matches this season, before the takeover, were some of the worst games I've seen in my lifetime. The team was just crap week in, week out. We were giving away stupid goals and we weren't improving in the slightest. I think 1 out of 8 games, we were the better team and that was Watford away. Every other match, we were second best. Let's try and calm down a bit now. Let's talk about the second quote where he's coming out and saying that he knew once the takeover happened that his time was coming to an end. He's also trying to congratulate fans. But never once during his time at the club did he look happy that the takeover happened. He never thanked the fans, going, oh, well done to the fans. He always argued with the journalists. He never looked like to be happy that the takeover occurred. He never showed any appreciation for the new owners coming in. He just sat there and did the same old, talked absolute garbage in the press conference. And the fact that him himself has came out and said that he knew he was going to get the sack when the takeover happened. I wonder why that is. Even he knew he wasn't doing 100% of his job, and that was why he got the sack. And he wants to come out and say that the fans never gave him a chance. No, Steve, you didn't give 100%, and that is why you got the sack. That third season you had was a disgrace, and we would have got 100% relegated, as I said before. It was a shambles, and the only person benefiting from that was you. I hope you get ready for this one now, guys. This is the worst bit of all. He's third and final quote. He comes out and saying, well, I hope in a few years' time the fans will appreciate what I've done. Brucey didn't do too bad of a job after all. Oh, my God. Steve Bruce, you're the most deluded manager I've ever seen at Newcastle United. You did a terrible job in that third season. It was a shambles. Week in and week out, we were getting battered on a football pitch. You never once tried to motivate the team. We never tried to get the team going. The team was unfit because you weren't training them. You went into work at 9 o'clock in the morning and left at 12. You went in about 3 or 4 times a week. Eddie Howe in his first week of club went in 6 times a week. And every single time it was 7 to 7. 12-hour shifts he was going in. And Steve Bruce wants to come out and say that the fans should have appreciated him more. What? Are you on something? What do you mean appreciate him more? You got paid tens of millions of pounds for going on holiday to Portugal, just doing what you want. You're not a leader. Who in that dressing room was motivated from your speeches during half-time? The press conferences were a shambles. Imagine watching these actual half-time talks of the team when we're 1 or 2-0 down. I couldn't imagine it. It would just be hilarious. Imagine being an inside man, just watching those press conferences and just watching those training sessions and just watching those half-time talks to the team. Oh my God, you have a field day. Imagine some of the stories you could get out from that. No. He was not in any capacity doing his job. But yeah, we should have appreciated him more. Well, Bruce, of course, Bruce. But yeah, we're going to stop talking about Bruce now. I mean, sorry, I've just pretty much took the full video on him because he's just... I mean, some of those quotes are just ridiculous, and they always were ridiculous during his time at the club. All I can say now is thank God he is gone. Thank God his time is over, because if that was us on Sunday against Burnley, we'd be down in the Championship, we'd be playing Sunday next season. No. Bruce is gone, get out. Finally on to Lucas Paqueta now. There's a lot of reports coming out now that's saying that Newcastle are actually ready to go in and potentially break their transfer records. At the time they came out to saying that Newcastle are prepared to spend the £54 million it would take to get Paqueta into the club. And as well as that, his second reporters came out saying that Newcastle have actually got Paqueta on their transfer list. So there's clear intent from the club. They clearly want to sign this summer. Obviously, there's always series sort of updates, think we'll pinch us out. But yeah, as I said previously, I do think there was business reasons for Paqueta to come to Newcastle. his time with Bruno. In fact, he made it so public as well with his Instagram posts, etc. I do think there's some intent there that he wants to come to the club. And if the club is prepared to spend that money on them, yeah, I think he's as good as ours, to be honest. Lyon haven't got any European football next season. Newcastle have got the pull factor now. We can convince them because we have Bruno and we are a Premier League team that's on the up and will be challenging for European football next season. I'm not saying we're going to get it. Of course, we've got to do our job next season, but I think the club will generally try and get it. So for Lucas Paqueta, sorry, that's going to be huge for him. And I think Newcastle, as I said in my predicted video yesterday, I think we can do it. I think we will go on and try and get him. But yeah, some exciting news for you there. I'm not going to talk about many more transfer news in this video because it's just all sorts of them. Oh, there's just so many different players and I want to see multiple reports before I talk about one. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts down below on everything about Sean Longstaff, about Steve Bruce and about Lucas Paqueta. Anyway, guys, take care. Thank you all for watching. Tonight, I'm going to go watch a dart in Newcastle, so I'm going to enjoy some time to watch a dart, I suppose. But yeah, I'll probably be back on tomorrow. If not, I'll see you guys at the weekend. But anyway, as always, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.